Hey, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you're new to tarot, just know that not every reading is going to resonate. So if you feel like I'm wrong or this just isn't your reading, please never try to make it fit. Just disregard it. I'm going to pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, and Empress. Those cards describe a really specific personality but have nothing to do with the sex or gender of the person that we're describing. If you want to catch more readings, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You can click the bell if you want to be notified when I post. And I also offer a membership. If you want to check that out, you can just click the join button. I'll show you everything. Okay, so we have the sacred temple. My body is a sacred temple. I care for my physical self with exercise, nourishing food, and deep rest. I treat my body like a treasured temple. And free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And the night. Find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright, but this did flip out in the reverse. The overall energy is the Knight of Cups. Supporting, we have Strength, Leo energy, the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Cups. The Hangman, Pisces energy, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck, the Four of Wands. I think some of you are just kind of like just finally coming out of this stage. It kind of looks like a fuckery. You know, it's like some never-ending loop of mind games. It kind of looks like with someone, and I think, you know, maybe you were stuck on that for a minute. That's usually what happens after a breakup, right? But you're finally feeling a little more emotionally detached. I think at this point you're even thinking about maybe dating or just kind of getting back out there. It's kind of like, you know, when you have a breakup and you go through that sort of like obsessed stage, you sort of like wait for someone to reach out, or like you're just not really accepting something is over, and then finally when you do, you're really ready to get back out there. But it kind of seems like, to me, there was this longer period maybe of isolation. Maybe since the winter you kind of have been just sticking to yourself and doing your own thing. You might have just a couple of good friends. But life has been pretty good on your own, I think. It's like, since you got away from a romantic situation, you may have kind of figured out more of who you are and what it is that you want when it does come to love. I mean, we're looking at the Queen of Cups here. You could have learned a lot from the relationship. You know, how to not be tricked into believing somebody is something that they're not to be like wooed with words or like, you know, the beginning energy. It doesn't always mean that that's what it's going to be. Either way, it's like, you know, that staying in the house, sticking to yourself, trying to figure out, you know, what this all meant, and obsessing over it. That time is finally over, and I think someone might have thought they would have never made it out of that. Tell me about the Four of Wands. The King of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Tower, and at the bottom, the Six of Wands. There's a lot of distractions outside during this reading. Sorry if it's throwing me off. There was a helicopter over the house. I'm sure you could hear that even with the microphone, and now there's like a motorcycle brigade going up the street. It's interesting. You know, I think that maybe you've just gotten a little more practical. It's like this could have been like a shakeup that you needed so that you really could see yourself. Like the King of Swords is very self-aware. He's also aware of other people and their intentions. So I feel like this time period of being alone was super necessary, even though it looks like traumatic, definitely chaotic, not comfortable. I think that it's brought you to a more like successful stage in your life. It's like you actually like yourself and you can just be in your own company and you don't feel like you need somebody and you're not obsessed with nobody and nobody's treating you no type of way, you know. And maybe this is not so much even about, you know, thinking about the next relationship. It's just being really grateful for finally being in this state of not mourning and grieving this one. But acceptance that, you know, whatever it was that you had with this other person, it really needed to be over, you know, because so much growth has happened since they've exited your life or since you exited theirs, you know. It kind of just looks like, you know, it took a minute, but things are just a lot more peaceful. Like, you know, you're a lot more optimistic about life now. So I think, you know, someone really was just crushing you. So why is this showing up now? Why is it relevant? The King of Cups, the Empress, Libra, Taurus, Death, Scorpio energy. the bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups. So something could be changing. Because it's looking like there is this new opportunity here. Things could be like unfolding with a person. This could be happening right now, or it will be happening soon. They're quite a different vibe. I think they're showing up with some cups that this other person didn't have. It's going in the past. There was this King of Swords, male or female, you know, who could be really intelligent and hold good conversation, but emotionally just be void. And they have a person showing up that really is emotionally available, unlike whatever was going on in the past. And now that you've cleared this out of the way, I think whatever this new thing is that's coming in, and it's definitely coming, it'll definitely transform your life, that's for sure. Like, we have the Death card here. You know, sometimes it's like that, you know, sometimes we have to go through it, and like sometimes we think that we're like in love with a person, and then we finally snap out of it and we bump into the person that like we are definitely supposed to be with. We just needed to go through some shit and change before we met them. So I think it's kind of something like this, where it's like there's definitely somewhere, maybe even in Scorpio season, or it is a Scorpio, it could be in Libra season. Something else is happening here. But it's only because, you know, you started this self-love type of routine and really healed from a situation. Because the Empress is healed. You know, you may have been the Queen of Cups in the last situation, but this situation is showing up different. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Star. And at the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Wands. Maybe it's telling somebody this is the time. It's time to finally just let that shit go and go out and stop just sitting, you know, in your own comfort, because, you know, something big is happening here for you. Now that you have your confidence back and you know what you're doing and you're more attractive, it's time to get out there. Somebody's about to definitely meet their like life partner. They just had to go through some shit first. Some karma, you know, some life lessons. Now they're really ready. So this looks really good. I'll see you guys soon.